Welcome to another episode of Until It's Done, a devoted podcast. I'm your host, Dana Lynn Kay, and I have some friends of mine here in the studio with me today. They're not here physically, but they're in their beautiful podcast studio in, where are you guys, like Seattle? Is that where you guys are?
Oregon, Salem, Oregon.
Oregon. Okay, I knew you were like across the way. Anyway, the ladies from our Sleeve Life podcast, Mel and Kel.
Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, well, thanks for being on my podcast. I've been on your podcast twice now, right?
Yes.
Twice.
Yeah.
And
as of yesterday, your episode dropped.
Yes, my episode dropped. So if you guys haven't listened to mine over on their podcast, it was a really fun episode. And I spoke a lot about, we talked about the hydration line, the HydroFlex, and we talked about all kinds of fun stuff. So go check that out. But first of all, will you ladies introduce yourself to our, we have a lot of listeners who might not know who you are. And you guys go way back with me, but Tell everybody who you are and what you do. So just doing a quick intro for yourself.
All right. So I'm Mel. I'm part of our Sleeve Life podcast, and I actually had bariatric surgery 9 years ago. My 10-year anniversary is coming up in May. And back then I used to be 308 pounds, feeling very uncomfortable in my body, not being able to do the things that I would love to do, especially with my kid, going to the beaches and things like that. It was just hard. So I found bariatric surgery and I've never looked back. It's been the best thing that has ever happened to me.
And my name's Kelly, and I'm the other half of our Sleeve Life podcast. And I had bariatric surgery almost 6 years ago. It'll be 6 years next month. And I was actually bedridden before I had surgery. I have 4 autoimmune diseases, and they left me stuck in a bed. And as soon as I had surgery, I was able to get up and walk without pain. And so it literally saved my life. I don't think I would be where I'm at today. Oh, I know I wouldn't be where I'm at today without having surgery.
Wow. So first of all, I'm sure people are wondering, were you ladies friends before the surgeries? Like, how did you end up? I mean, because we'll get to where you are now with doing what you're doing, but how did you even link up and kind of find support in each other, or what? Tell me, were you friends before all of this?
Yes.
Oh yeah, we linked up at 13.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, we've known each other for a very, very long time. We went to middle school and high school together, and then we've been friends ever since. So,
yes.
25 years in the making.
Yep.
So the decision to get surgery, I mean, that's a big one. Was it something that you ladies spoke about? Sometimes, you know how they say birds of a feather. So it's okay, if you both were struggling with your weight and obesity, I'm sure, and I'm not going to speak for you, you can speak, but was that something that you found comfort in your friendship, that you both were kind of going through weight struggles, or was it something that you were both hey, we have to do something about this? Because Mel, you went through surgery before Kelly. So yeah. It's how did that happen? Because I'm sure these are things that people are going to wonder.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Because we are 4 years different in our surgery dates. And mine was basically triggered because my father passed at 59 from liver cancer. He also had heart attacks and a stroke before that. And so basically all of my dad's side of the family, he's one of 9. Only one's left, and she's not even she just turned 70. So we really don't live long. A lot of people pass around their 60s in my family. So me and my brother were oh boy, this kind of hit us with a ton of bricks when Dad passed. And my brother had a couple kids at the time. I already had Dylan, and we both got very scared that we were gonna end up dying in our 50s, especially when both of us were we want to live to our 80s at least. So let's not take 30 years off of our life. So we he did research, and then I kind of just follow suit with that. He did a lap band first, watched him go through that. And then once he hit almost a year, I signed up, and I was I don't want the lap band. That kind of, he wasn't having good things with it, like just pressure and pain. And then I was very nervous about the R&Y, which we hear all the time too. But now I kind of wish I would have done the R&Y, but I got the sleeve surgery because they take out 80% of your stomach and they don't reroute anything. So that's where I started because it was just like family necessary, like, and very, very important to my future. So,
and then she had surgery, and then we kind of talked about it, but not a lot.
Yeah.
And that was right around the time that I was like gaining from having my autoimmune diseases. I was bedridden. I was really not leaving, not doing anything. And my rheumatologist actually tried to refer me a couple times. And I was like, no, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. And then I saw a photo of myself, thinking I was feeling good one day. I was out, at a winery for my sister's birthday, and I saw the photo and I was just like, there's no way that's me.
Wow.
And yeah, it was like crazy. And I called them the next week and said, hey, can she refer me to a bariatric surgeon? And she sent me to Dr. Thompson in McMinnville, Oregon. And she was just, I loved every aspect of the journey to like get to surgery. I mean, it's stressful, but yeah, it wasn't, I don't think either of our decisions to have surgery were like based on the other person at all.
Okay. No. Yeah, that's interesting.
I got a lot of support once Kelly went through it, because now we have like this next level thing in common that most people don't understand or get. So like I was really thankful when she went through hers, because I would come over every Thursday. We'd watch The Hills. If people don't know what that is, it's a spinoff from Laguna Beach. Yep. And that's what we used to do. And we talked everything bariatric, and Kelly was literally teaching me every single week. And I was very like excited about it, but then I was also felt alone. Like, how did I not know these things for like almost 4 years? So I came to her one day, and now here's a podcast. 5 years later, still going.
Yeah, because I was on social media from the get-go of me deciding to have surgery. I knew that there was a community out there, and so I really just like stepped into it and learned a lot and really watched people's journeys, and did the whole, oh, well, they're the same size as me, so maybe I'll look like that when I'm done. And, playing that game.
Yep.
Because you're constantly looking for somebody that looks like you, because you think, okay, well, maybe we'll be, right, I'll end up like them. Which, we've learned that is not the way it works.
No.
At all.
You'll end up looking like you. Like,
you're going to look like you. Yeah. And since I had surgery and starting the podcast, like, I got divorced very early on in my journey, and then I regained, and then I lost the regain, and then I regained again. So now I'm in this like trying to lose it once and for all.
And I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that, because like that's, like a harsh reality. And I know that you ladies, so because like with Mel, did you feel that you were getting the support, meaning like you didn't, when you went through your surgery, did you not have the support and education afterwards to feel that you had, because it sounds like you didn't have the resources, because if you had to then wait that many years to feel like you had support, that's a gap right in there that I'm like, wow, what was she doing all that time? Were you like very alone and struggling and like trying to find your community, or were you just, what happened?
I was mentally struggling. Physically, I was not. Like, I fell in love with working out, and they gave you that huge book. I read the huge book, and I went through it page by page. I went online, did all the things that Dr. Patterson told me to do, but I really used it like Bible. We didn't stray. Like, Eric actually like printed out everything that we needed for the foods, especially when I would change up. So I had Eric that really supported me in the beginning. That first year, I would say amazing. And I worked at the Department of Revenue at the time, and the people there were very supportive. They went on walks with me. They talked to me about it, but I didn't have anybody that actually went through it.
Yeah.
So I I would have these mental struggles and not know where they're coming from, or why I get this noise in my throat and I don't know why. Like, why do I have pain in my back after surgery? Don't know why. And now I know it's like, oh, I needed to walk after surgery to get gas pain out. The noise in my throat is really telling me that I'm full now. So I just didn't know what was going on. I just was like, I guess this is just what happens.
Wow.
Until literally Kelly was going through it and she was talking to me and telling me the names of things. Like, I didn't even know what an NSV was. I was like, what's that?
Yeah.
She's like, it's a non-scale victory. And I was like, oh, I like that. Like, we literally talk about them all the time now, but like, I had no idea. So I was very alone for those like 3.5 years, just mentally not understanding what's going on with my body and what's normal, what's not normal. I literally just had my doctors, my husband, and that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think until you go through the surgery, you, as a support person, you don't know what that person needs.
Yeah.
So you don't know, like being a, you know, a best friend, I didn't know that she needed people to walk with. I didn't know, like, I didn't know. And I don't even think she knew to like ask for that.
Nope.
And then when you go through it, then you're like, oh yeah, you do need to like support your person going through it, because they do need to go on walks and they need the encouragement that they're doing a good job and all of that. So
And then also it's and a lot of education as to like the whys. Like sometimes just going through the motions is one thing, but like it helps when you understand why you're doing these things, and you know, or you have somebody where you're setting goals and somebody's aware of that and they want to help you get to those. Because I'm sure getting steps in the beginning is not something that you're like used to doing, and then all of a sudden you're like, I got to go for a walk, and it's like, why? And it's like, well, you know, like these are things that, yeah. So it's a whole. Yeah, it's a whole lifestyle change.
It really, really is. And yeah, those steps, like I was getting, because I was walking so much at work, like every break and every lunch, like I was getting almost 10,000 before I got home. So that first couple of years are great because I would use work as like, oh, every break we would do this. But once I started working at home and then I was going through my divorce stuff, that's when I did my regain. I mean, it took me almost 7, 8 years to hit a regain, but still I hit it. And it sucks. It's not fun. And you really beat yourself up on it. And you feel like I'm a failure. Like I shouldn't have, like, why did I do this tool? Like, look, I regained anyway. Like a lot of negative thoughts go through your brain when you start regaining. And then now, like I'm on the in swing of my first regain because I gained 50 and I'm down 47 of that 50.
Oh, wow.
So I'm very excited.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, I want to talk about a regain because, you know, a lot of people on the internet, and I disagree with this, but this is just, you know, what people will say to people who are open about going through surgery. They'll say like, oh, you took the easy way out, or that was a shortcut, or whatever. And I mean, just because you have the surgery, which you guys are saying with the regain, it's no guarantee that you're going to keep the weight off forever. It's not like it's a shortcut. It's like, well, it's like, yes, it's a tool. It's a tool.
Yeah.
You still have to put in the work. You still have to change your lifestyle. You still have a lot of very hard things to go through. It's just a different battle, but it's not guaranteed that you're going to just like lose the weight, stay skinny, and run into the sunset. It's like, no, regain is real. Now, and you can just speak for yourselves, which is fine. Why did you guys have the regain? What did you do that caused the regain? Because I think people are curious about that. Like you had the surgery, you have this tool. So what happened?
Yeah.
Well, I know for me, it was when I first had surgery, I didn't realize that cutting every carb out of my diet, cutting all sugar out of my diet, and literally eating cheese and meat, barely like vegetables, barely potatoes, like none of it. I didn't realize that was like, it was bad. I lost weight really, really quickly because, yeah, you're not eating any sugar or carbs. But then when I went through my divorce, and what was the one thing that was always there for me? Food. So, you know, I started introducing things back in and I started eating all the time. And so I slowly started gaining. And then I stopped, I started drinking when I was eating. And that's kind of a no-no for me. And I started eating a little bit, and then I would wait a little bit and then eat some more. Like, it wasn't defined like times to eat.
Okay.
So those were two things that it really was detrimental to my regain, because it was like, well, I'm not following it. And then I got on a GLP-1 and I lost it. But again, I didn't do it in the healthy way or the way that was going to stick around, because I was just not eating.
You're right.
And because and I was on a system where it was like every time the month rolled around and they were like, oh, you want a refill? Okay, we'll go up in dose. Okay, we'll go up in dose. And so I was on the highest dose, which that doesn't, like, you don't want to eat anything. Nothing sounds good. It's not like, I feel like that was actually bad for me, that they were allowing me to be on such a high dose.
Can I just tell you right now, when I saw you at an event, because everyone, we do know these ladies in person. I do, you know, I saw you at an event. We were making devotion waffles, and I was like, "Hey, girls, come over, grab a waffle." And then you said to me, "No, I just took my shot. I don't eat like much for 3 days after I take my shot." And I was like, what do you mean? And I was like, no, but you still need to eat. You still need your protein. And I was like, well, what about like your muscles and your hair and all your stuff? And you're like, no, I don't have much of an appetite. And I was like, oh. And I'm like, oh, this is not going to end well.
Yep.
You know,
yeah, that sounds exactly like it was.
Yeah.
I would take my shot, wouldn't really eat much of anything for the first 3 days. I wasn't drinking protein shakes. I wasn't eating, like, I literally ate butter toffee cashews, and that was like the main source of my meals.
Oh my God.
Like, it was not healthy at all, but I was so desperate to get the weight off that I don't think I cared. And then what happened, because I wasn't getting my protein, I lost a lot of hair, and and then as soon as I started eating again, and because I couldn't find the GLP-1 for a long time because there was a national shortage.
Right.
I didn't have it. And so I was stuck back where I was before, but I hadn't learned anything about why I regained and how to do it in an effective way. And so this time I am on a GLP-1 again, but I am on like 5 milligrams, which is, if you know Zepbound, there's 2.5 and 5.
Okay.
So I'm like on the lower end of things. I feel really great. Okay. I still feel hunger. I wake up, I eat. Well, I don't wake up and eat because I still can't eat breakfast. There's just something, I'm just like, ugh.
Okay.
But I managed to get pretty much 100 grams of protein a day.
Okay.
I have a Profi. I have a very balanced dinner. I have snacks. I figured out the way to do it. I'm also walking with my dog. I try to go morning and evening. Most of the time it's evenings. I'm taking all my vitamins. Like, I've built out a routine for myself that is super different than anything I've ever done before.
Yeah.
So I'm actually learning it in a healthy way. Do I plan to be on a GLP-1 for the rest of my life? Yes, I just do, because I need that food noise quiet, but I also don't need to be at 17 milligrams.
Oh my God, no. Yeah.
Like, I just don't need to be that high. I can be on 5 or 2.5, feel comfortable, and be, I'm losing weight slowly. I'm okay with that. And I've lost 12 pounds so far. So I'm getting there, but I'm really trying to learn, what can I do in a healthy way to lose my weight, keep it off, and not have to rely on something to be at 17 milligrams in order for me to not eat.
Right. Well, I want to thank you for sharing this, like, seriously, because a couple episodes ago, I had a woman named Maria Redmond on, and she's actually my mom's trainer, and she's amazing. She's lost like 150 pounds. She's like, she's built, she's amazing. She does Iron Woman's. I mean, she's like this phenom. She's amazing. And she we spoke about GLP-1s, and she has her concerns from what she's seen, and she saw a lot of what you're speaking about, and we spoke about it. And there was a little bit of backlash where I had people write in saying, it seemed like you guys were shaming GLP-1 users, or did it like people went on the defense. And the thing is like when you listen to it, no, Maria isn't doing that, but she's not liking the fact that people are not being guided and educated properly how to use them, and they're abusing them. And then the things that you're speaking about, losing hair, losing muscle, slowing your metabolism down so far that then when you finally do eat, your metabolism is so shot and low because you've been starving yourself that you're going to regain because your body, needs the food and is going to, and so they were like very defensive, and I'm like, no. It can, if it's used properly, it can be another great tool, but but it's unfortunate that, and a lot of people know all the positives, but a lot of people don't share the stories like what you're sharing, where you're like, hey, like I didn't go about this the right way. I was taking too much. I got to the point where I thought like, let me just keep upping it. Like more is better.
Yep.
But then it's like the side effects, now you're creating more problems if you're not doing it right. And so I commend you for sharing your story and telling people, because this isn't about shaming anybody. Like I was like, I wrote the woman back and I'm like, I think you have a misunderstanding. Like we're trying to stop people from creating other problems, because you could lose the weight, but are you losing hair? Is your health now, being compromised? Is your like all those things? And that's what we were trying to say, is that there are some very, irresponsible providers that just like let the people have it and like send them on their way, and we're like, whoa, like these people are about to, things are about to change, and if they don't understand it, they're just going to try to figure it out, and it's not something that you just want to play with. It's like playing with fire. It can backfire. It can be, so so it's an important thing, and I hope that listeners listening to this understand that like this podcast, and like that's with my episode with Maria, it's really about just bringing awareness, and we weren't saying don't use them. We're saying, hey, like make sure you know how to use them, and what you're doing right now is amazing. Like having the dose be where it's not just shutting down everything, like your whole appetite, and you're just not eating. I mean, you still have to nourish your body and get in the nutrients that you need and the protein and all of those things. And now the approach you're taking is exactly, I mean, it sounds like you're just doing a very healthy lifestyle, and you've got something that's a tool for you to keep you in a good spot, to not go to an extreme.
I think the other thing is that I'm making sure that my meals are balanced. I'm having carbs. I'm having a little bit of sugar. I'm having vegetables. I have a good source of protein. Whereas before it was like, with both like surgery and starting GLP-1s, I was literally eating like the meat. Yeah. I wasn't having carbs. I wasn't having vegetables. And that's important to have a balanced meal. And I never quite understood it until this last like regain. And I was like, what am I doing wrong? I don't understand. I'm on this GLP-1. I'm at this really high dose. I lost weight, but then I lost my hair, and now I'm regaining again. And it's like, what the heck is happening? Because now I've done this twice. So what am I doing that is not making sense? And so I really dug back to, I worked with Jamie, the sleep dietitian. I worked with her, when I first started losing my regain. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go back to what I learned from her. And it was the balanced meals and making sure that you have a routine, that you are doing these things when you like all day, like you're doing them every single day. Yep. It's not a one-off. Like, right. So now I have my Profi every single day, and I know I'm guaranteed 30 grams of protein with that. And then I have a balanced meal. And it's like, there's so many different things that I was just like, okay, how can I change this to where I wasn't doing this before? Like what's the flip side of it? And so that's where I'm at today, is just trying to be more aware of the healthy, how can I do this in a healthy way?
Right.
And that does include a GLP-1, but it also includes it in a healthy way.
Right.
Not, yeah, because I think they saw, oh, you're losing, and so we're just going to give you more. But nobody actually explained to me, like, or asked me, well, what are you eating in a day?
Mm-hmm.
That's the sad part to me. That's the sad part, because they're not saying like, how many grams of fiber are you getting? How many servings of vegetables are you having? Are you eating, a well-balanced meat? What are your meals? Like, I mean, just to say like, oh, I'm eating meat and cheese. It's like, okay, well, it's like, that's like leaving out a lot of stuff, and then it's not only, it's like, we talk about macronutrients, but the micronutrients and your vitamins and, sure, you can take a vitamin chew or you can do whatever, but nothing replaces like adding fresh raspberries and the fiber, or eating, things like Brazil nuts that have psyllium in them, or like things that we need, or selenium, I said selenium, but like the things that we need, adding chia seeds and like all these little things that, sometimes people, it's like it's like the eye on the prize is just like, get skinny, lose the weight. But it's like, hey, like there's more going on with our skin and our hair and our nails and our body functions and the fiber and going to the bathroom and like our colon health and our liver health and like all of these things that we can't just forget that like that stuff counts too.
Yeah, it plays a big part. Yeah.
Plays a big part. Yeah. So now with Mel, with the health issues in your family, did you, you mentioned like with your father having a large family, was it obesity or was it other like diseases and things that, it was like that played a role in their
I would say
health?
It's a few things for sure.
Okay.
Obesity definitely plays a part. I came from a very, like, they're all big and stocky. So I literally thought that's just who I was going to be. I never even thought I was going to be a smaller person in my life. Like, I just was like, oh, I'll just look like they do, just bigger people.
Yeah.
But there's also like poverty does play a part in this, because they would literally have like mayonnaise sandwiches, everything's deep fried. So they're old school. My dad's from, like, he was born in 1953. So this is like old stuff that they've been doing for years. Mom would, cook 2 pork chops for everybody and like have like cups of rice for us. So what their concern mainly was just to make sure we were like, fed and like we had the things that we can just survive, but there was nothing really extra to that. I didn't know anything like how my health works. I just knew that we had an unhealthy family. But now like that I've gotten older and I had the surgery, went to school, because I took some health classes in school because it's like, why not? You got electives, might as well do it.
Yeah.
And you learned a lot. Like you really learn like the process of your body and how the alcohol really does do so much damage to your body. My dad was an alcoholic for 30 years. So that makes sense. He had cirrhosis of the liver that turned into liver cancer. So, and then he also was at least a pack a day smoker for a very, very long time. Sometimes he would even creep to 2, depending on the week. They're all smokers too. So that's also like another thing that played a huge part. So like lung disease, heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure was pretty prevalent through everybody. And that was very scary after watching Dad go through so many different types of episodes, with the heart attack, with the stroke, and then dying from the liver cancer. Like I was there for all 3. So it's very hard to watch that and then think like, I don't want Dylan to experience that. Like, I don't want my nieces and nephew to experience that over my brother, because my brother was 427 pounds and I was up to 308. That's on record. So,
yeah.
We were very, very nervous. And so like after my surgery, I actually got into some really good habits of like working out on a regular basis. I had a pretty good routine. I was eating lots of veggies and meat for a very long time. For me, what I would say what happened is like, one, I started about year 4 and 5, I started introducing things like bread was like a big deal for me. Jimmy John's got me good when I started working at Progressive because they come to you. And that was super like so much easier for me when we were working. And so that started me actually going on walks declined because we didn't have time for that at my job. So like we were working through breaks. It was very like go, go, go. And then ultimately 2020, we're all home. Now at first I had my office in the kitchen, which don't do
No,
that.
I moved mine out of the kitchen too. Not helpful.
Do not do that. Yeah. Because that refrigerator talks to you all day long.
It's easy to snack. Yeah, I get it.
So easy. Even if you're eating like good things, but I would overeat cheese. Like
it adds
that was
up.
A big deal.
Yep.
It's so easy to do. And so I did move myself into the office. But again, now I'm working at home and I'm not doing my walks. So I had to like get myself trying to do those. And I used to do those actually a lot, which I need to get back into. But that was like my slow decline was just introducing things, and then it was not moving enough, and then I got smacked hard with divorce as well, and a lot of medical stuff that was happening with Eric, which you know about some of those things, and so it was very like hard.
Yeah.
And the one thing that's always been there for me is food. Like, I know that I cope with food. I identify as a food addict because there's certain foods that I get really compulsive over, and it doesn't stop in my brain. I just think about it all day long. So there's certain ones I just can't even have in the house.
Same.
So
I get you.
Right? Yeah. So I was just going through such a mental like hardship that I was just night eating. And I wasn't telling anybody. And then my aunt and my cousins lived here. And now all of a sudden Mel's drinking Coca-Cola. Like, it was interesting. I just started going back to definitely old Mel habits, like 100%. And I caught it back in July. I was doing this for a good like 9 months. Like, I knew what was happening. But I was telling Kel, it was like, by the way, once you lose weight, you can gain weight in all different places now.
Yeah.
Because I had this spot on my stomach that if it moves a bit, that means I'm gaining. Guess what? That didn't move, but my back was gaining. So I just couldn't see it. So that's a big deal. I didn't even like my clothes, yes, were getting a little tight, but I didn't have to go up in a size.
Okay.
So I was, just in denial for a very long time of what I was doing to myself. And then I finally was like, we talked to a lot of people about GLP-1s, lots of doctors, lots of surgeons. Kelly's been on it. I've watched what has happened. And I was like, you know what? I do think about food all day. And I would love to feel like Kelly does, where she doesn't have to think about it. Because we were at like a bachelorette party and there was cake and I had a piece and Kelly was like, didn't even get one. And then later on, I wanted another one. And I go, is this what it's like where you don't even think about it? She goes,
yeah, I didn't even want it.
Didn't even
I
want
was
it.
Like, it's fine.
And I was like, oh, I want to have that. So
wow.
I did get on a GLP-1 and I do take a very low dose. I'm very sensitive. We found out through this process that I cannot have a lot of that in my system or I get very nauseous. I get like all the symptoms that you get is like I puke. And like I will literally have heartburn sometimes all the way up here. It's taken me out of a couple of days of work before.
Oh wow.
So I had to learn how to process this because I'm not a morning eater either like Kel. So
right.
But I have to now. So there's rules. I can't eat past 9 because it slows down your digestion. So if you eat, because I'm a night owl, I stay up till like midnight. So if I eat around 10 or 11, it's still in there. And it's literally, I'll either wake up and puke it up or I'm in pain. So now I don't eat past 9. I only drink water past 9. And then in the morning I wake up and within an hour I have to eat something. Okay. It doesn't have to be much, but it can't be just like a protein shake. Like it can't be liquid. It needs to be something.
A meal.
Substance.
Like a meal. Yeah.
Like once I have that, no problem.
Okay.
But it was hard to learn. Like Kelly had seen me puke at the airport a couple times.
Oh.
I've done it in restaurants, Applebee's, like just because I wasn't on the right timing, and also because I was very sensitive to this GLP-1. So I'm happy that I'm on it because now like I can actually like have a full routine. Like I have things going on, and that's where like I lost 47 pounds, but it's not right away. Like it took since July.
Yeah.
Which
totally is good. It's not supposed to be like a rush.
Yeah, it's a slow fall and you're going to get there. You have to be patient, and I had to figure out a whole routine, and people moved out of my house that lived here, so then I had to relearn a routine with no one here. There's just been a lot of changes around the house and life. So like once you get into that nice routine and the GLP's working and you're in rhythm, oh my God, like everything just feels perfectly. Like it's almost like you're in sync finally. And that's what I love. And so like if you need to be on a GLP-1, don't shy. You just need to be mindful of what you're doing.
Yeah.
And don't try to like overdo it. Like that's the deal. Just be careful.
Yeah, slow and steady, and really, I mean, I mean, I love it that you ladies are sharing your experiences, because, I mean, you've got to. I mean, you are recognizing the regains and why, and that's the biggest thing. It's like, I mean, you can sit here and recount the things that you did when you lost versus the things that when you regained, and you're like, yeah, like it was my activity levels. It was how much I was eating or when I was eating. It was my lifestyle. It was being too sedentary, like all these different things. And that's huge. I mean, that's how we grow and we learn from, we aren't supposed to just like keep like, go. It's like sometimes we have to set back and we learn, and we have a setback and we learn, and then it propels us forward. And that's how we grow and, and really like appreciate the path that we've, where we've come from. And then with you ladies, and kind of like with what I'm doing, we're paying it forward by sharing it on these podcasts and being a resource and sharing the stories, because if we didn't, then others would feel like they're alone, and they'd be trying to be figuring it out and make, hopefully by what we've learned and mistakes we've made, we're able to help others. Not have to make the same mistakes. I mean, it's not to say that other mistakes won't be made, but you live, you learn, you share those things with others. And then, other people get to kind of benefit from that. The fact that we're open and sharing our stories. So that's like huge. Now, our Sleeve Life podcast. So your podcast has been around now for how long?
5 years.
5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
So, what made you guys then decide to start the podcast?
Well, that goes back to when I was seeing Kelly every Thursday, and how I wasn't like, she was teaching me all the things. And I already listened to podcasts, like even before like we went down here, I was watching a podcast and working. That's kind of what I've been doing ever since I got surgery. It's kind of interesting. So I really love the format. I love that you can be entertaining and have fun, but still give out education and have resources for people. And so I brought it to Kelly because I was like, I think we can do this. Mm-hmm. Like I had full like faith in us. I was like, yep, yes, we can. And I brought it to Kel, and she was like, yeah, but I don't know what a podcast is, but I can talk. And I was like, yes, you can. And I know that you can. So let's do this thing. And that's where it started. And you are number 303, ma'am, for episodes dropping.
That's amazing. And my first one was probably way early too, because you guys came down to the Devotion office way back when Devotion was way, way smaller. And
2021.
Oh my God. Yeah. Way smaller. And we set up and we did a podcast in there, and that was kind of fun. Yeah, that was really fun. So that was probably at the beginning of 21. So wait, what year did you launch?
2020.
20. Yeah. So it was like kind of like, so so now, so you've been doing this for 5 years, which is phenomenal. And you're now doing an event, or you started an event. I want you guys to talk about it so our listeners can hear like what you're doing and why. Like, just go for it.
Oh, yeah.
So we decided, well, it all boiled down to we were not discriminated. We were purposely left out of an event that was happening. We were told we were going to be a part of it. And then when we were going to be announced, magically they found something on our social medias, and they were like, no, you have to delete this or you can't be at this event. And so we were like, well, we're not deleting it. So that's just what it is. And so we were purposely excluded, and we were both very angry, and Mel was trying to think of something that we could do where we could do our own event.
Yeah.
And she came up with an award show, and we just were like, yeah, let's do it for the bariatric community. Let's like celebrate the people that are out there sharing their stories and telling, all the ins and outs. And I don't remember why, but someone said just be you, and we were like, that's it. It's just be you, because you're not going to be excluded from our event just because you cuss on your social media.
Yeah.
Or you smoke weed on your social media, or any of that. Like, be who you are. And so our first one was in 2022. It was in Portland, Oregon, which is about an hour north of us. And it was an absolute success. Everybody absolutely loved it. And so we were like, okay, let's do two. Let's go for number 2. We planned number 2 in like 8 months.
Yeah. Wild.
And it took everything in us to get to that, because we did not realize how, like, once we leveled up, there's so much more to do it.
Yeah.
And we did year 2 in 2023 in Washington, D.C. And we were just like, this is amazing. We loved bringing people together. We did like weekend events the whole weekend. We do a wellness morning where people can go and learn from bariatric instructors. And it's just, our whole purpose is just bringing people together. Like, we just love doing that. And so, the next one is in literally a month today.
Yep.
Oh, a month from today.
Yeah. So we'll be seeing you, Missy.
Yeah. Holy cow.
Yes.
So what's like the layout? Because I want people to know, because I mean, there's people listening. We're going to launch this, soon. So, I mean, there are people listening that are probably curious, because I know you can also not only get tickets to be there, but also you can watch it, correct? So like, explain what do you expect to see? And like, what's the awards about? Like, what kind of awards are you giving out? And like, how does it work?
Yeah. So there's 23 awards. So this is going to be about a 2.5 hour to 3 hour show. There will be an intermission. And these awards are basically, we've kind of taken what we see in the community as like awesomeness, right? So like, we have like a VSG, which is like having a sleeve surgery. That's a rock star. We have the bypass as like a superstar. And then we start going into having like the female body positivity. So like, now we're showing like people that actually like talk about their body and give out really good advice and make you feel good about who you are. That's male and female. So that's pretty cool that we have that. We have some new ones this year. The Hydration Hero is one of my favorites, because we see people all the time in the community kind of yelling at people to drink water.
Yep.
And really it's helping them drink water as well. But that one just seems so much fun. We also have like the Berry Advocate of the Year. That's brand new as well. And once we saw the nominees come through for that, we were like, oh, this... like that top 5 of that makes complete sense. Mm-hmm. Like, once you realize like what everybody else sees, you're like, oh yeah, they all are really great advocates for this community. So what I like is one that's TikTok, it's Facebook, it's Instagram, it's YouTube, all mixed together. So it's all social media platforms. And last year we got to see TikTok, like they came to play. Like, they were very prevalent. They were there. They were getting their stuff up so fast. So much fun. And with the live stream, what we love about that is that it's free for you guys. We are not charging you an entry fee whatsoever. And so that whole time for that 3 hours, you're going to have that live stream. You can come in and out as you want, as you watch it. Now, there will be a replay afterwards, of course, but we also have a live from the pink carpet, which plays before the actual show. So like, people like yourself, Dana, like you'll be walking down the pink carpet, and then you're going to get interviewed by one of our bariatric friends. Her on Facebook and Instagram and everywhere is VSG Bestie. Her name's Shar, and she's going to be the one that's interviewing everyone. So that's going to be fun. So that's a lot of interaction. And then we have actual interaction at the show with our people. So what's nice is that you're going to get to see that even if you're not there. And we would love for you guys to like have some home parties, watch your friends and family go across the screen. We know that people did that last year and got people together and had little home parties and watched it. And I've been telling everybody, like, get dressed up. Like, even if you're not going, get dressed up, have fun. Like, be part of the live stream, especially in the beginning of the pink carpet, because you get to like see everyone that's going through it. And what I love is that it's such a different types of people that are walking through that line. Like it could be someone that doesn't even have a social media, that is just a support person, all the way up to someone that's a sponsor or has 1 million followers. But what's nice in that venue is that none of that matters. Like everybody talks to everybody. You're going to get to dance on the dance floor. You're going to get to cheer people on. And then the best thing too is Kelly's baby, the rising star. So with anybody that's ever been nominated this year, we are contacting them. We're trying to get their side-by-sides. I looked at it today. We have over 100 people that have submitted. So that will be in an actual video. It plays at the beginning of every show, and it's actually called Warrior is the song. And so it's going to be that song every time that we do the Rising Stars video to show off all the people that have been nominated and have inspired others. So that is something that you'll also see through the live stream. So we want you to definitely show up on the live stream if you can't come in person, because there's just so much to see and there's just so much to be involved with.
Oh, I love it. I'm so excited. And Devotion Nutrition will be there for the first time this year, which I'm really excited because I can't wait to see. I mean, I've seen, I think, like pictures and recaps and stuff, but it looks like a really fun time to see everybody in person. Now, do people get like all dressed up? Like what?
Yes.
They get decked, huh?
They go all out. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So a lot of, with our community is a lot of people didn't get to wear that dress to prom, or didn't get to wear that wedding dress that they dreamed of. And so this really gives them the chance to like go all out. A lot of people like have appointments to get their hair done, their makeup done. They buy their outfits like way ahead of time. We kind of set a precedence the first year that we change a lot during the show.
Okay.
And so now it has gotten around. So now other people are like, can I do an outfit change? We're like, yeah, if you want to do an outfit change. So a lot of people are like planning like 2-3 outfit changes. I think the top one that we did was like 6.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So you'll see that during the show. Like we come out in different outfits. But other people are like really like enjoying the fact that they can change and they can wear multiple outfits, or maybe they want to party dress for the after party. It's really cool to see people are like tagging us in stories of like, I would have never picked this dress ever before, and now I get to wear my dream dress and like the shape that I want to be in. And it's so cool to see people really enjoying like the dressing up. Yeah. Now, if you want to come in sweats and a sweatshirt, go right ahead. Like literally,
hey, if that's being you, just be you.
Yeah, it's just be you.
Yeah.
But I think, given the like, we have been told that we are the Oscars of the bariatric community, and so like dress like you're going to the Oscars. It's fun.
Why not?
It's a lot of fun. And even the guys get into it. It's really fun.
Oh, the guys have so much fun with it. And we have more men this year. So they told us to watch out for their outfits. That's going to be hilarious. Yes. And we literally did a live. We did like a string of lives on TikTok a couple weeks ago. And there's a girl that's like, I'm just going to go full body paint. And
oh my gosh.
Like, I wear my underwear and my bra and stuff. And I was like, yeah, as long as you're appropriate, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't be like Kanye West's wife or whatever. Like, I mean, I guess maybe remember that one on the red carpet? It was just a clear bag or something. I don't know what was
right?
I don't know what was happening.
Don't make it awkward.
Don't make it awkward.
I saw a lot of stuff.
Dress.
Like body paint. Like holy cow. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. That's going to be fun. I'm picturing like feathers. I'll see feathers and who knows, boas and all the things. But that's really fun. These days there aren't enough like events like that where people feel like they can go all out. I mean, years ago, people even to go to the theater in New York City would get all dolled up. And now when you go to New York and you go see a Broadway show, people like walk in off the street and they look like whatever. And I'm like, geez, like, are there any events that we should really like get dressed and like rise to the occasion and like show off and be our best, or like be like a peacock and like just kind of like, hey,
Yep.
So I love that.
This is it.
This is it.
Time.
This is your chance to really just push the envelope. And just
wait, you guys, now I'm feeling like pressure. Like I'm like, oh wait, now I should go. Like what am I gonna wear? Like
Yeah, doll it up, girl.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, do whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I think we saw feathers. We had a full fur coat last year. It was like feathers, but it was bright orange, and it was kind of a fur coat.
India's.
Yeah, India had it on, and I mean, it was fabulous. There were people that were rocking like these crazy shoes, and yeah, it's just.
Oh my God. Now I'm like, what am I
going
going to wear? And I want something in theme with like devotion, but like maybe not. I don't know. Like that just sounds, but it sounds like so much fun just to, just go for it and not even, just, oh, that's fun. I like that you guys do
Kelly
that.
Are gonna look amazing.
What?
Said you and Kelly are gonna look amazing.
The other Kelly, not me.
Well, you'll look amazing too.
Well, yeah, I got to tell her now. She's gonna be like, wait, what do I have to do? Like, Kelly loves to dress up, but half the time she's like, we're the type that we wear workout clothes mostly to work out, and she's always got her top bun and her glasses, and she's working away on the computer and doing all her stuff. So now I got to pluck her out from behind the computer and taking pictures and all the stuff. But yeah, we're going to do at that mocktail bar, which I appreciate you guys thinking of us, to do mocktails. We're going to use the Hydroflex, and that's going to be fun. They're really popular. We have now like a really big bariatric community, of our customers, and getting in your water and hydration is a big deal.
Yep.
And Hydroflex, is a tool, again, another tool just to help you do that easier, help you love your water, hit the hydration every day. It does get a little monotonous trying to do all of the healthy things every day. And I realize that I've been doing it myself for a lot of years, battling my own, weight losses and all of that. And I was like, man, like I need something in my water. Like this is terrible. So, adding some fun, like you said, like what you guys are doing, adding fun to this life that does take more effort than just throwing in the towel, eating whatever you want, and sitting on the couch. I mean, the life that we're talking about. And it should be applauded because it's people who aren't taking the easy way out. It really is. It's people who are working to better themselves and to push past those urges to just do the easy thing, what's easy? Ordering some pizza, sitting on your couch, whatever. It's the people who are inspiring other people, getting on there, showing how they're changing their lives and their lifestyles for a healthier life. So I love it that you guys are, continuing your podcast and educating people and being that support. And then also bringing all these people in the community together for a really fun night, for a fun cause.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. And it's actually the whole weekend. So we start on Thursday. We have a welcome party. Friday morning is the workout. And we're actually going to be in the First Form gym, which is going to be really cool. And then we have the show on Saturday. And then if you're a patron of ours, Benchy, as we like to call them, we give you a brunch the Sunday after the show. We say thank you to them by giving them a brunch. So it's a packed weekend, but it's so much fun.
That's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing you ladies. And if you guys also follow me, I'll do a lot of behind the scenes too at the event during that weekend. So follow me. I'm always big on my Instagram stories, and I'll go under devotion and we'll make some fun content there to show some of the outfits. We'll do some fun. I mean, I can't wait. I can't wait to see this and see everybody and meet some people who I have never met who are on social media. Yeah. It's so wild when you meet the people finally in person and you're like, I know you, but I don't know you, but I know you.
Yeah, I've seen you a lot, but
like I feel like I know you. Yeah, like I know all about you, and I'm in your kitchen a lot, but like, but no, that's fun. That must be fun for you guys to finally meet a lot of people who you've been, who have been nominated or whatever, and get to meet people in person and and make real, because then when you make those connections in person, it's like a whole nother level, because now you're like, I actually know this person, and you can like feel their energy and a vibe, and it's just awesome.
Exactly. So that's the best part. Like that's what we look forward to, is meeting you guys and hearing the stories and knowing where you've been. Like, I always love knowing, because like it's fun to see where everybody's from and what the cultures are and what things are going to be like for you, because it is different. Every journey is different. So that's one of the best parts.
If they want to find out more about the event, or also more about where they can live stream it if they can't make it, obviously, where should we send everybody?
They can go to jbyawards.com, and at the top of the bar, there's going to be JBY tickets. And so if you want to join us in person, find it there. There is a pop-up that will happen for a newsletter. Make sure you sign up for the newsletter, because that's how you're going to find the link to the live stream.
Yeah.
Okay.
We will have the live stream in our digital swag bag. And so you will have to go in there, grab it there, and you can use the digital swag bag for all of the cool offers if you're not in person. And feel free to send the link to the digital swag bag to any of your family and friends. They're welcome to use it as well. And same with the link to the live stream. It doesn't just have to be you can send that link to anybody. So.
Okay. Oh, great. Yep. And don't forget, Devotion is going to be in the swag bag. We're going to put samples for all the people going in person, and we'll do something with your digital swag bag. So if you're looking for Devotion samples, these ladies will have some in the swag bag we're going to put together, and it's going to be a good time. We'll have to, I'll be showing behind the scenes. So check it out on my page and follow these ladies on theirs. All right, you guys, thanks for joining me. This was a lot of fun.
You.
And thanks for sharing your stories and everything. I mean, I think this was a great intro to who you guys are. And then now people can come over and then, I mean, they've got a lot of catching up to do on 303 episodes.
Yeah, right. You can binge all day.
Yeah.
A lot of walking, a lot of stepping material.
Yeah. 100%. We hear it all the time that we're on people's runs, walks, they're doing their dishes, cleaning their house. So,
I love it.
I mean, I do it with the podcast I listen to, so I totally get it.
Yeah.
And we have so much content for you. You're not going to run out right away.
No.
Yeah. And you can watch us on YouTube, but like literally just hit the play all and boom.
And away you go. That's awesome. All right, you guys. Well, it was great to see you. Thank you so much for joining. And thank you guys for listening to another episode of Until It's Done, a Devoted podcast.